Okay, welcome to my channel. Let us discuss the state of CS2 as of February 2024. You notice, despite the many updates, the many patches, and the many fixes from the last year up to now by colossal order, the negative feedback has not yet gone down. Actually, it has even increased. The projected number of people that colossal order thought would be playing the game by now is still low, is still down up to now. And compared to City Skylines 1 launch time, there are more people who played CS1 by then when it launched than they're playing CS2 now. Let us look at some of the great unknown content creators of City Skylines as the game. Let's start by talking about Bifa. Bifa is one of the guys we know who has played City Skylines game for a long time. Okay? And I think in the game of City Skylines, he has the biggest following on YouTube. His content quantity has really gone down. The number of times he uploads has really gone down compared to CS1 content. And I used to enjoy CS1 content a lot. When I say a lot, I mean a lot. It was great, it was nice, it was wonderful. Now, if you look at him play CS2, his content has really gone down and the passion has gone down. Look at Overcharged Egg. He's one of the guys who inspired me to join City Skylines as a game to play. He is a great content creator. He has two City Skylines 1 city buildings going on right now. That is the Builder Guide 2 and Thesia. If you look at him play Thesia and Builder Guide 2, you see the passion, the love, how much he's trying to push the game. Now, if you look at and compare to City Skylines 2 content he creates, he doesn't have passion. Like you see, he's just putting it there for viewers, but himself, the passion has gone. You can compare the two if you have time and go and look at him playing Builder Guide 2 and when he's playing Skylines 2. You'll see the passion. It's different. Okay? Let us look at Impreta. Impreta is another guy who is a great and creative content creator of City Skylines. Recently, he finished a city build on one of the maps. I thought he would jump to another map and create more cities, but instead he dropped and went back to Sims 4 and CS1. Why would he do that? Look at Cities by Diana. Dropped a video recently saying she's done, and she has a lot of content. She was saying, a lot of points she made. She aired out her frustrations and she said she has put on hold until something bigger comes out. Now let us look at why. But before I start talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly of City Skylines 2, let me first say this. Let us not forget that CS2 is a sequel of CS1. That calls for developers to learn a lot, gather a lot of information from CS1 concerning the community, their needs, what they loved most, so that they can make CS2 better. Okay? Better than CS1. But to some extent, this was not the case, and we shall discuss this shortly, and I will show you some of these things. Now, let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. I will be talking about the bad and the good together. Then the ugly will come in later because I think the ugly may never change. Like these are things that colossal order may never change, okay? But you never know. I know this guy is listening. These guys are trying to make the game better. So I hope something is done about the ugly. I want to start with the good. If something bad pops up, I'll be chipping it in there. But I want to let you know that the engine and the gameplay is something good. The engine, no doubt, has been built for generations, for years to come. CS2 has a great foundation, and what I know is Colossal Order will just be improving it, just making it better, but it is built for years, which is a great thing. Okay? Now, the general look of the game is way better than CS1. No doubt about that. The scale of buildings, they're more realistic, they are bigger. Though the schools, sometimes to me, they seem bigger at the beginning of a city build. But anyway, you can live with that. Excuse me. Then the gameplay. It is way smoother than CS1, The loading screen is way quicker. The landscaping tool is easy to use. It is cheap. Actually, it's not cheap. It is free, and you start with it when you start the city building, which wasn't in the case of CS1. The road building is easier. It is smoother still. It's easier to create intersections. It's easier to manipulate a road and make shapes that you need, because there's no collision as much as CS1 had. This has made people enjoy building intersections easy. In CS1, I used to download intersections a lot because the hassle of creating intersection without move it and without anarchy was pretty hard. Okay, about roads, we have some ugly part of it. One of them is what we call creating keys. That's QUAYS. I'm not a fan of it. That's why most people are going into Thunderstore and downloading these mods that help them create these keys easily. And I support them to do that, though I fear to crash my game saves. Then another thing that annoys me about the roads is the road maintenance vehicles. These are traffic jam pullers. Like, they stop in the road, they slow down the traffic a lot, they cause too much jam. The other thing, I will still add it on the roads, though it is not so much on the roads, it is traffic management. Here in CS2, you manage a full road, which is a pain. In CS2, if you have 3 lanes, one going left, one in the middle, and one in the right, it is hard to control the traffic flow, whereby the middle one will either turn left and straight, or it will turn right and straight. It's hard to make it go straight alone. It's kind of hard, which is a pain, and I hate that. Because in cities, city building, traffic management is a must. It is part of the game to manage the traffic flow. Let us look at public transport. First of all, I want to say we lack variety. If you look at the buses, we have only one bus type. If you look at the trams, one tram type. Like, there's no variety. In CS1, we had a bunch of variety. Now, you might say, Mark, comparing a 4-5 month game to a 13-year-old game, but some of these things are supposed to be put in the new game in CS2. The variety of buses, this is something new. It's something old. Why don't you put it in CS2? Why do you have to give us only one? Okay, these are the things that show me that this game is unfinished. It was a rushed game. Now, if you look at the taxis cause a lot of traffic in your city. Even though you put a bus next to a taxi, seems you prefer to go into a taxi stop than a bus stop or a tram stop. So that is very annoying. I love the trains that you control the outline connection and the number of trains that come into your city. That's a very good part of of an addition that was put in CS2. In CS1, if your city is big and a lot of production is good, it kind of pulls a lot of traffic in terms of trains, and you cannot control. They will back up for a long distance, which is a pain in CS1. In CS2, it's a bravo to them. I like that part. Let us look at the air and water transport, public transport. Now, let me start with the air transport. I don't have to say much about this, but it's very boring. Why would the Colossal Order bring the airport DLC back, whereby we would custom build our own airports? Why remove that aspect? Why remove it? It's something that should have continued. Okay, but these airports they gave us, I'm sorry, but they are boring. They are very, very boring. The international airport is the worst, actually. Let's talk about the water transport. Now, we have no ferries. These boats are too big to be used as ferries. That's a bummer. Okay? Now, let us look at another thing. Let us look at beautification, which I call landscaping. Here, we are limited. The only things we have are paths and trees. Many content creators love detailing their builds, and I love detailing my build. But I'm limited to a tree and a path. Then the trees take long. The trees take very long to grow. Like, it's a pain. By the time a tree grows, you have left that build and you have some other builds in your city. Why? I wish they'd give us a turn off and on of tree growth. Give it to us as an option. If somebody wants the trees to grow slowly by slowly, let them turn it on. If I don't want, let me turn it off. Now we have parks. Parks are the most boring. I'm sorry, but they are abandoned. No one interacts with the parks. In CS1, you'd see a crowd in a stadium. You'd see some guys trying to play soccer. You'd see some guys playing tennis or basketball, 2 or 3 of them in the court. In CS2, they are abandoned. The only things you'll see there are tents which are put there for homeless guys. That's the only thing you'll see. And I hate seeing those tents in my parks. Okay? And there's nothing you'll ever do about it. Totally nothing. Let's talk about the seasons and the time. This is some other important aspect. It's a great feature to add seasons, and we are excited about it. The fall is the best. Spring and summer are great also, but winter is the worst. It's not fun to play in winter. It's blind. It kind of blinds your eyes. The white snow. Okay, looking for the casa is hard to find the casa. Then the paleness. It is very pale. Like, it's not fun to play. I'm thinking that this is another aspect where they would have given us an off and on seasons, okay? Like they did natural disasters. Turn it off and on. Give somebody an option to turn it off and on. So, and then the time. It takes a lot of time to go through winter. A lot, even though it's on 3 speed. Then also creating content. Because the game is too slow, the builds are slow. So creating something tangible, something visible, you need to play for a long time to create something for your viewers to see. So this is another pain, okay? Then let us talk about the maps. They are better than CS1, yes. To a greater extent, yes. Could they have been made better than CS1? Absolutely, yes. They would have made them better. If developers looked at and picked a leaf from the modded maps of CS1, they could have made CS2 maps to look way better than they did and way more detailed. But the fact that the edge of the map ends abruptly, the fact that a river ends abruptly, the fact that the edge of the map has no trees, like you usually know that the map ends here. Things like there's no detailing outside the edge of the map. That is another bummer. It looks very plain. It looks like an unfinished map. It looks ugly to me. Okay? Now, let us talk about the ugly. Let me start with the bug fixes. Now, you may say this must be a positive or a good thing. But bug fixes is a sign that the game was unfinished. The game was rushed. Why so many bug fixes in every patch and every update? So many bug fixes. And they just wanted to hit deadlines, which is not fair to the customer, to me and you. So, let's look at another ugly. Expectations of the community not met. Now, there are so many expectations we're looking at. Now, let me start with the prop line tool. The tree placement is a pain because you have to place one by one. It's a big pain. And by the time you finish detailing a place, because that's all you have to detail your builds, it is exhausting. I expected them to give us something like this. Putting bushes, it's another pain. Putting one by one, it's another big pain. Okay? We expected better traffic management, but still the traffic management is not there. The DLCs from CS1 should have been added into CS2 automatically. Now, let me give an example like Campus DLC. You know, we paid for these DLCs in CS1. I expected them to continue with them in CS2. Like, let people build campuses or universities according to the way they want. Custom make them. Custom builds. The same thing with airport DLCs. Why remove them now? And the problem I'm seeing is these guys may bring them back and may keep buying them also. If they are for buying, it will be very unfair from Colossal Order to their clients. Because this is something already bought and you should continue with it. Like they did for natural disasters. Okay? Like, keep them going. Why stop there? Why do you remove the bikes? Why the bicycles? Those are the bicycles. Why were they removed from the game? I don't understand why they were removed. It doesn't make sense to me at all. Complete no sense. Okay? Then the game feels very easy to build, like very little challenges. And to make matters worse, no props, no assets to try to beautify your builds. Colossal order, no. Please. Then one of the last things I want to talk about is what they said. Their target is 30 FPS. I don't understand why. Why 30 FPS as your target? Is the 30 FPS for population over 500k? Will it still be 30 FPS? Is 30 FPS the minimum? Is it the maximum? I'm sorry, but close orders to come out and make this game more fun, more interesting. People are running back to CS1 content, and it is fun to watch them. Why? Because of the passion. There's something that used to drive us back to CS1. You would dream about CS1. You'd want to go back to building CS1 in City Skylines 1. The maps, the variety of maps. Like I don't know, there's some passion that was in CS1. Some challenge that would give you something you look forward for, which is not in CS2. The passion is not there. You build like today and tomorrow, and you don't feel like going back there anymore. You don't miss the game. You don't miss CS2 as you used to miss CS1. So there's something that is missing. Trust me, I enjoy CS2. Okay, it's a good game. It's a wonderful game. But Colossal Order, please do something. Do something. Thank you for watching, and I hope something is done. If you think I've missed out something that is important, please drop a comment below, and we shall discuss more. Thank you, and bye.